Alright. Good evening, here's Aaron's, and welcome to Practising Programming in C, where we are slurring our way through a stream of programming, I guess. The thing we're wanting to look at first is this this stuff here, project medium name, including that in a file. So basically, the deal is, if this is even open. So we've got hero. So we've got here, yeah, here we go. It's got the project hero up here. Hero code. Hero code is the person that we're actually dealing with. Right. So basically we're passing the entire config in, and then we're just straight up hard setting the current project to be the hero code, essentially. Oh, it's not that. It's C. So is it locate project? What is it? Current project is what we're saying. There we go. Right, get project from project. So it's this line here. Right. We're getting the hero code project. Setting that as our current project. Now, strangely enough, we're using the current project up here. Is that if I think this is if zeroed out, isn't it? Yeah, if AFE'd. So this ain't happening. Because that's all complete garbage. We're not handling any. We're not handling anything like that at all. Command line arguments we're not handling. So yeah, we're using the hero code project. So we're talking about this person down here. Now this should inherit or absorb stuff from higher up. So it should inherit stuff like, not the HTML div, because that's top level. That doesn't actually that isn't contained in the projects anymore. But it should absorb the base base URL, update interval, and the HTML dir. It should absorb that. And then it should also absorb from the included file these guys. It should absorb the mediums. So here we've got a medium blackboard, and basically I'll just illustrate the problem at the moment. If I do, oh actually hang on a minute, have I spotted what the discrepancy might be? Let's continue on it. Think about it, just I still might need to figure out what's going on, and even if it is wrong at all, it might be right. But we've got this medium blackboard for the icon and the name. What's supposed to happen is that this person, this project hero, should absorb this blackboard, right? And then when it encounters a blackboard of its own, it should just overwrite whatever's set there. Now that is included up here, right? this stuff has settings, permissions. So yeah, like I say, it might be a permissions problem. So we're saying that you can set the project unit yeah, the project unit is here. We're not saying that you can set the project medium, but that was part of the note, wasn't it? It's like project medium name doesn't allow it to get set. Oh, it was Blackboard, wasn't it? So we need one where I think Blackboard occurs in this episode. So there's whiteboard. You see, so it's showing up as whiteboard, right? Now for Pamid and it says it in app as well for the run thing. Now you can see that this isn't taking effect. The medium Blackboard name Blackboard isn't taking effect, nor is the medium run name. Right, we're still getting it from up here, aren't we? It was in app, wasn't it? Yeah. So I guess the first thing I might like to try and do is just stick this whole thing into the previous thing, just lob it under here. So basically we're going to include Cinera included, so we're going to pull in the mediums. So mediums have been set in the Cinera included. We're then going to come through and try and overwrite that for hero there. And then when we come down to this project hero, this guy is it should absorb the preceding hero. And it should actually just set this as the guy that we're working on, essentially. So let's see if that actually gives us what we want. If it does, then it's probably a permissions problem. So there's whiteboard. So yeah, there's something wrong. So it's possibly not the permissions problem, there's something wrong with the copying of existing scopes. So let's jump in and see what's going on. And this is going to be if we found a scope. Yeah, it's basically going to be this thing down here. If the field is a support, if search is a get scope. So support is supposed to get scope for its parent. If it isn't, it tries to get scope. I wonder if that field singleton is not correct. I wonder if we're not supposed to be passing that. Or is the pair not set correctly? 2304 is the line that we're on. Oh, I need to go to the other file. How do you do that? do I just have to paste it into my actual thing at last? Examining source files. That's where I was, wasn't it? It spontaneously prints the line where it stopped. Specifies the line number in the source file name. Okay. So what's that? You can change the set listen. So CGDB. CGDB manual. If you're looking for foods, you type that. So how do you get into file dialog mode though? Oh, usually the file dialog will be opening up from the source window using the O key. Oakley. Aha. Perfect. So here we go. Finally, we're rolling, rocking and rolling. So is that the line that I want to go to? I guess it's kind of here actually. So it's not a support. No. Do we have a search? We didn't get a search for that. I guess actually, should we just continue to there? Because that's the case, we need to hit that case, really. Right, because we're not talking about an ID, an ident support. We should, I think, be talking about an ident project. So there's an ident medium. So I assume we're just within the top level call to parse config. Should we take a look at the parent? So the parent is a project, it's hero, unit day, medium blackboard. Yeah, so this is the guy that we're talking about. Parent is equal to the merge scopes. Looking Cinera.conf. Guess that's correct. So the parent, that's the parent that's currently, what is this search? Is that the medium? Okay, so that is the medium. So we're looking to merge in, I see. So yeah, so we're looking to merge in the blackboard medium with whiteboard. That's what we're doing. From Cinera included. Fine. So we're merging in all three fields into our parent. So the parent currently it's got 15 trees, has it? Should we have a look at the trees? So we've got authored. Admin. Blackboard. So you're saying that we've already got all of these guys in, are you? Run should be coming up, yeah, so run is that with the name in app. Now I don't think this is necessarily an indication of what this actually is. I think we would need to dereference this actual thing to see. Can you do? I don't think you could you? So this guy, we'd have to look at its pairs, wouldn't we? So it's got an icon, which is that, and its name is in-app. Yeah, so that's more like it. Basically, we can't trust this to tell us. We can't trust this whole thing to tell us what that's actually set to, what the icon and name are actually set to, because this is only the thing that's pointing into the file, which is retrieving these strings essentially. You need to actually see what they have been set to. Gosh, that did something, did it? And I've got an ident null. Yeah, because it said the tree count was 15, didn't it? Is that right? Yeah. So it's 0 to 14. And I guess you could dereference that because the thing is, it contains enough stuff, maybe, or maybe that just, will this crash at some point? Maybe it won't. But that's fine. So basically the parent we're saying has already got all those mediums. Now the search has no trees. Oh, it's the medium anyway. This was product, wasn't it? Oh, it's medium. And did we say that the parent is a product? Yeah. So what we're looking at here, I think, we're looking at this line here. So our parent is product hero, and we're looking at the medium blackboard. Yeah, you can see that medium equals blackboard there. So we're trying to deal with this thing here. And we're just about to merge that scope in. So we've got that ident product. Mind you, when you set it's actually going to be the search, isn't it? So it's going to be the search's parent. So apparently we wanted to merge the parent into the parent. Is that true? So the parent of the medium scope will be a project, which is fine, I guess. It just won't be able to. It just won't be able to do anything, right? Because the project won't contain anything that the medium can actually absorb. So basically, we should just see after stepping over this, we should see. I would imagine that the tree count, pair count, and the int pair count and the bool pair count all remain the same. So that's 0, 0, 2, 0, 1. 0, 2, 0, 1, yeah, so it hasn't managed to merge anything in, which is perfectly fine. But now that we're in there, I guess we need to continue on. Do we need to continue on, actually? Well, actually, no, because we should then... Yes, we do continue on until because we've just merged this scope, we should encounter the name next, right? So it's not a semicolon, it's an open brace. So we jump past. So we're onto the next dude. And I think we're just going on this, it's this for loop here, I believe. So is this the name? It's the medium. Well, okay. Now we're looking at the name. So field is permit. So if we haven't got rules, we shouldn't have any rules, I don't think, should we? Yeah, so we're going to get into here. Field is set locally on field singleton. I mean, this shouldn't be set, should it? No, so we are getting in here. So we just established that the field ID is ident name. It's a string, I'm going to ignore it past. Let's put a semicolon, which we should see. Alright, so this is Blackboard. If it's a number scheme, it's not. It's not that either, or this. Else, pair value is equal to value contents. Field singleton, so this should be a field singleton, yeah it is. What is the assignment value currently set to? I think this should be set to whiteboard too. Oh, we haven't got the assignment yet. But if we step in, it is a singleton. If it's a name, yeah, I can believe this. So we're going to return that. If this, then all you do is you set the assignment with the values. So let's just take a look at that. This should be whiteboard, shouldn't it? Yeah, this is whiteboard. But the actual pair is is Blackboard, yeah. So we just set that to be that. Right. Now, where did that go exactly? I mean, we'll have lost the assignment now, won't we? But we should have some other stuff, shouldn't we? I think the parent should still be there, shouldn't it? So there we have it. The first pair has that set to blackboard. I guess this shouldn't be correct, should it? Or should it? Yeah, maybe that shouldn't be correct. Previously that pair definitely would have been whiteboard because we didn't have blackboard involved anywhere. So it's the same deal with the run. So the same thing's probably going to happen there. So now what's happening is that we're down here, we found this, looking at this second project, and we have found within the parent scope a project equals hero. I guess what could be instructive actually is to I suppose we could just like print out the entire, let the parse happen. Well, I guess actually we can just print the scope tree and then just exit. So handmade array. Yeah, just get blackboard set to whiteboard. Yeah, which is consistent with what we're kind of seeing in app. Yeah, so it's not like the resolution is getting screwed up. It's resolving the correct thing, but, well, I mean, it's resolving correctly, but the stuff it's actually trying to resolve is not the correct thing. Blackboard, whiteboard. Yeah, okay. So that's a bit more information. I do think though that the part where it inherited the medium's file name, I don't think that was right, was it? Like, you know, where it was like is where you found the pair. Yeah, where it does get pair. String. It's in the else case. Yeah, this thing here, pair value. I think this has to also use some other stuff. I think it should use whatever else is in the pair. Position, line number, and position file name probably. Really, it can't just go back to the previous line where I was. Bloody hell. Where was it? Yeah, it's all of these cases actually. If you find one of those guys, would it be enough to simply say maybe it wouldn't. I was going to say, would it be enough to, because this is a pointer. I don't think you could point to the pair directly. I think you do need to kind of somehow dereference that. Should we just step in actually? Just let this first thing happen. And just see what we turn up. I think the only thing that we should actually see is this medium blackboard, I think. Or whiteboard for that matter. Yeah, the first thing is whiteboard, but we want to be setting it to be the value. So it's now set to blackboard. The file name is set to that, 920, but we've got a new thing that we're setting here. Have we still got it? Of course we fucking haven't. Have we lost this as well? Yeah, so I think this is more like what you're talking about. I don't know if this will change anything at all. This would just be for the purposes of outputting errors. So yeah, I feel like we should let's go back to this area where we are merging in the project hero scope from the root scope. Let's get ourselves back to that situation. And will that be caught by this? I think maybe yeah, I mean surely this we did see the trigger, didn't we? We did get to here. So looking for the parent root, by the way. The key will be ident null. That's what we'll be looking for. Get rid of that. And that. So there's an ident null. And we're looking at the hero project. Yeah, so what we're trying to do is, I think, we're sitting, well maybe not actually. We want to get ourselves sitting on here, merging in this project basically. And I don't think we're there quite yet. Could be wrong, but I don't think we're there. Apparently if you count 40, tree count 26. I assume that we're just at the top one, I assume. Because that's what we're seeing here, isn't it? It's like hero a day. So let's continue on again. Now what we're looking at? We're looking at an ident project, risky. Default medium, let's just see where that could be. Hero. Default medium. So we've got risky and then it's default medium trivial. Isn't that in the included file? That's her. So it's not this guy that we're talking about. It's now medium, which we don't care about. necessarily. So we got to the included, but we never got down to, where did we get down to? Like, we never seemed to get to here, did we? Is that true? Let's just take the including out of the picture just for a moment. I need to save that. Yeah, so we still got the whiteboard and an app coming through like that, which is perfectly fine by me. Not correct, but it's fine by me that we're still exhibiting this book. Yeah, whiteboard and app. So we're definitely never including, are we now? Right, that's not happening. That's not happening. So we should be getting some bugs. Yeah, we should have seen, oh no, Mia Taxi doesn't exist, shouldn't we? Somewhere. Before we do all of this stuff. If we can get back there. Yeah, we can't. But I think we should have seen that popping up. Take a look at these errors. Yeah, who cares? I was just thinking if we could maybe condense those errors a bit. It's the problem that it's not merging the guys recursively. So it's not merging this person's, the stuff that this guy includes. Like, let's just say the I think that should be legal. Well, let's say that we're doing that. This person sets day, this person down here does not set day, but we'd like to see we'd like to see what we get through. So unit chapters coming through, yeah, which is, oh, this is for risky. That's risky as well. There's Casey. See our unit chapter. Is that right? Hero Ray. So yeah, it just seems like merging's broken, doesn't it? Because this is able to, it merges the, does it merge the scopes and then try and merge the pairs? And in so doing, it overrides the scopes stuff with the pairs. Could that be what's going on? No, it's not. It's merging the it merges the pairs first. I mean, apparently, is it? Well, I suppose you could check if it is even merging. Yeah, I suppose we could check that, couldn't we? So it's under scope tokens. I mean, I think is it? Is this the only place where it's called? No. So it's called in a couple of places. Is this the includes one? Merge scopes there, and there's a merge scopes down at the bottom. If search, or if there's not a search. So that's if it's a support. So I don't think it's that one. It's really this that we want to be looking at. So let's run to there. That's always saying it's intergenerational. Ah, that's not necessarily true, is it? Yeah, that's bullshit, I think. We've got two calls. We've got two calls to merge scopes, which are both saying that they're intergenerational, yet we gave merge scopes an option to do different things depending on whether or not we're intergenerational. So yeah, I think we're just not treating that intergenerationality correctly. Intergenerational is supposed to prevent it's supposed to prevent projects from merging in its actual parent. I think this needs to be, rather than true, we need to say if the parent ID is key, is equal to the parent's ID key. That's basically the test we're doing. If it isn't, then jobs are good. I think that's the test we actually want there. So let's just make that happen. And then in this case here, if it's a support, I don't think this can be intergenerational, to be honest with you. I think maybe we just got away with it because it would have happened that the type specs didn't match, like they didn't have the same type specs. Let's step into that, see what the problem is there. Just make sure that this guy actually still runs. So I keep going past that, don't I? Oh, that's the recursive call to merge scopes. And where is that again? So this is saying that's saying false. Oh, I see actually. So there is more than one call to merge scopes, and intergenerational is being used in here. But my question is, when we come down to here, why is that failing at all? So that's going to evaluate to false. So intergenerational is true at this point. So we shouldn't be merging these scopes, is that what it's saying? Yeah. Same deal. I think. So now I've got a medium and a null. Oh, the medium's non-permeable. Mediums are non-permeable. But that, I think that kind of should be okay, shouldn't it? Reasonably sure we want to end up in a situation where, mind you, it's the parent, isn't it? I think really, parent and surge, I think. If there's a surge, do I want to be actually saying something different? What are they? Else. So that's if we found a scope. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this is the case we want to be looking to get to. Intergenerational. So the common thing is apparent. Let's have a look at that search. So we're here, aren't we? No, and that would just. Oh, hold on a second. The search is. Oh, hold on a second. Oops. Is this project? Yeah, so we've encountered. So we're in this parent project. So yeah, right. We're in this. Well, we're in here, aren't we? I think. Yeah, line number 170. So we're in this parent project. We just found it. And we're merging in the blackboard from up here. Right? Right, which we're happy to do. Because we've got coming up our overwriting of that blackboard. So we're still in the medium. Oh no, hang on a second. That might be the problem. We're still in the medium. We shouldn't be in the medium, should we? We should be in the projects, shouldn't we? Maybe not, actually. So we should be counting a string. And this is where the value should be in our blackboard, shouldn't it? Yeah. So we're trying to see if there's already an assignment in the parents. So let's just take a look at the parents. Probably quite a lot of trees. Pairs, rather. Yeah, there's not actually. There's just two. Should be icon. Nope. Yeah, there's icon and name, whiteboard. So it's going to get that assignment. Right, so it should be getting rather than pushing one directly. Right, and then having done this, right, the name is now set to blackboard. What am I missing? Key is set to name. The value of that is set to blackboard. It set it from line 175. Push pair. So again, we're going through this dude here, and when we go to this guy, this should set itself to become this. Hang on a minute. That's possibly what's going on, isn't it? It's merging in this guy, regardless of whether one is set in here. That's probably the problem, isn't it? So how do you deal with that? Yeah, I think I'm starting to see the problem here. Let's just quit and just stuff these guys above so we can actually just follow this a bit more readily. So again, the idea of this all this stuff is that we should be able to put a project into the included file. The included file should be cited here. Right. It's actually, I mean, this is the include directive up here. This stuff used to be in the included file. Is it still in there? I mean, it's not, but we could just keep it in there because we're not including the file. But the idea is that we should be able to put this stuff right in here. That isn't, strictly speaking, the actual problem. We're not solving the problem of including. We're solving the problem of getting these guys to merge in, right? So we've just pasted this in as if it's been included here to sort of simulate the effect of coming down to here and having to basically merge these dudes together. So I think let's go into, I mean, we could also just remove the product risky actually from the equation as well, just while we do this whole figuring out stuff. I think that's correct anyway. Well, maybe not. Oh, yeah, it's just another one of those. Yeah, we want basically when we encounter, so yeah, again, this is consistent with what I was sort of saying. It seems like when we encounter this, we're merging in all of this stuff. We're merging in the chapter. Is that true? I think let's just at the top of this guy. I guess FT scope is going to be the thing. If field edit is added include, else I think let's just give ourselves a break here. I saw Casey do this the other day to squash a warning. It doesn't seem to do that. Right. Oh, right. Really? So this knew that it was right. It was correct to report that. Right. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Oops. Hang on. What's down there? Right, all I wanted to do was null out this whole thing. Oh, I suppose it's going to... It sees that, doesn't it? Maybe. Yeah, it doesn't know. Like, within one of these block comments, there's another block comment, so it doesn't know to ignore it, I guess, is what's going on there. Just get rid and quit. Okay, so here we go. It's not support, we just established. So we're trying to get a scope. We haven't managed to get one. So we're going to be pushing on our new scope. So who's our new parent? It's Hero. It's here with the medium blackboard set, so it's this dude up here. We're pushing on this. Let's try again. So we now got our second project, which should probably, yeah, it's going to be this guy down here. Now we should find it, shouldn't we? Yeah, we totally do. So we found our hero person here. And what we're going to do, it's not that. So the parent is going to become the search. Oh, right. Yeah, that's what's happening. So now having set this guy to be this, it's then going to merge the scopes. So, in merging the scopes, it's going to pull the chapter and the blackboard and the run into here. So that's not right. So how do you deal with that exactly? I mean, we can see it happen, can't we? So it probably is intergenerational because it's two projects, I mean, strictly speaking, this isn't actually intergenerational. Now that I think about it, is it? Is it? That's interesting. Because basically, we're talking about this guy and this guy. These are the same generation. Right? Hold on a minute. Let's just try it again. So that was the first time. And then the second time, we should now be looking at this product area down here. Right, so we have now found our new dude. Hero Day Blackboard. So the search is that person up there. The search result is this. But we're actually the current project is the current parent is actually this guy down here. Isn't it? Well, maybe not. What can I look at here? Field IDs that I've got any other things set. So the pair value. What is that exactly? So that's hero. Ignore privacy equals true. So we're talking about this dude down here, right? As I say. So we're down to this person down here. And we're trying to merge this person's, well, we're trying to set this person to be our new person. Now, we're actually down there, aren't we? It's not a support, so we shouldn't be copying the scope. Am I looking at the wrong thing here? Do I need to be saying instead of true here, because I need to be talking about intergenerationality, do I actually need to be saying what is it? Well, it's field, isn't it? Field ID. And what is the search? Right. Oh, hang on, they're both projects. Oh, you know, oh shit, yes, how am I supposed to know that? Yeah, how do you distinguish between a project that's like a parent and a project that's a sibling? the result of the search. So I suppose our parent isn't the same type as us. Just give it a moment. I'm just going to take a couple of minutes and I'll be right back. I think what I'm going to do is step through and verify my assumption as to what's going on. Basically, what I think is going on is that we're looking at this guy here, right? I think we're going to, we've got a search thing here. We've searched for a project called Hero. And I believe we found it, haven't we? Yeah, we found a project called Hero. Now, what I believe is happening is that we're going to be setting this project to be this project here, and then we're going to try and merge in all of these guys up here. We're going to try and merge in the stuff from its parent. In merging in the stuff from its parent, we're going to stamp over this. We're basically going to stamp over all of this stuff here, right? And then, having done that, we're going to continue on our way, setting these guys up. But we'll have lost these bits of information. So let's just verify if that is even what's happening. So intergenerational is 1. So is it permeable? I think it is permeable, isn't it? Because it's a project. Yeah. So we do get into this situation. Let's have a look at the dest first. So we've got 15 trees in the destination. Blackboard, blackboard. Just, yeah, so we're talking about this guy here. 15 trees. Hopefully we'll be able to see the blackboard medium at some point. So there's the blackboard medium. No, the whiteboard is there, which is kind of troubling actually, isn't it? The dest, source. What about the source? So the source is the root, is it? Why is the source the root exactly? I mean, I can understand it by the stuff that we passed into merge scopes. We passed the parent of the dest, which is going to be the root. The dest itself, I think we just did establish the dest itself is the hero project with unit day. So the dest. So we've come down here, but we've actually set ourselves to be this guy up here. I think it's a bit troubling that this medium, well actually, as I was saying, it's not necessarily that, is it? If we look at the medium, what is it? Desk trees ID 3. Okay, so this guy's name is set to Blackboard. So we're going over all of the pairs. The source fur current. The desk time space. The desk itself is a project, isn't it? I guess we merge. Yeah, we recursively merge the scopes, actually, don't we? Oops. Query string. So yeah, it's basically, yeah, even that, right? If we had set the query string within here, this is still going to end up pulling in the dude, isn't it? So I think I can already see what's going on. I think essentially it's prioritizing the merged stuff. It's not prioritizing the stuff that's actually set. Is it? Oops. What is field singleton set to here? I think this should be set to true, shouldn't it? Test is I kind of think pushing a pair. I wonder. Maybe rather than doing it like this, you should say, if there's no this assignment, push a pair. Otherwise, do nothing. Right? In that way, the most recent, like the I guess like the most recently, I want to say the most recently set thing, but it's kind of like it's the one that's like basically what's happening here. I think is that it's prioritizing the originally set value. I think if we switch this round to do it the other way around, then we'd be prioritizing later set things, which is what we actually want to have happen. So let's just see what happens if we do that. We can get to our window. So in merge scopes, we just want to switch these bits of logic around. Maybe that'll be sufficient, maybe it won't, but we will soon see, won't we? Okay, now blackboard's coming through, no problem. And run is coming through as in-game. So yeah, that's probably all the problem was. I think that was it. We were basically prioritizing the originator rather than the later sort of innovator, if you will. The guy who sort of modifies that originally set value. Unit is equal to day. There's our 3s for the break here. I reckon that looks legit. Before we do continue, let's introduce risky and see what that ends up showing us. So that's inheriting chapter, which is fine. And then run in application, I think that's setting it itself, isn't it, actually? Somewhere, yeah, that's setting it in application. And blackboard is coming out as whiteboard. Strictly speaking, it doesn't need to do that because whiteboard is the default. But the prescient thing is in application is coming through here, whereas this guy just calls it in app. Is that in a specific thing, by the way? So it's top level risky. Yeah, I mean, we could even sort of say this. Right, if we just slap that down there, then the run is going to come, yeah, so you can see this one down here. In-app, this is probably one of the book clubs. Yeah, Risk 5 Reader is getting the run thing coming through as in-app from the top level run thing, this thing up here. Okay, so now let's delete these guys from here. Delete the chapter as well. Let's include this. And I think let's delete this as well because we've got that in the other dude. Right, the project hero is in here. So this guy should be able to set the day, I think, unless there's a permissions problem now, which we might have to solve. Was that handmade right? There's handmade hero. Unit day is there. Run is in game. Blackboard's coming through as Blackboard now, so I think we're fine now. So you can set the project unit. This should throw all sorts of errors, shouldn't it? Well, maybe not. How does it know about all these mediums? Exactly. Is that just included them from through the back door, I wonder? Through the project? Because the project can contain them. Altered run on Blackboard. Yeah, maybe it is. So I don't know how I feel about that actually. The idea of doing this is that you can include anything from the project, so that should reasonably include the mediums. Project unit. Now if you just say like, is it that? Yeah. If I'm understanding right, this unit day should not get applied, I don't think. So where's it getting that from exactly? Oh, hang on. Because you're including the actual medium, so yeah. Sorry, you're including the actual project. Yes, unit can't get included in that case. And also, the mediums have been included here. I think I understand. Yeah, so now the unit gets set. Oh, the default medium actually. Yeah, this guy doesn't have a default medium. And it still doesn't. Handmade Ray doesn't have a default medium. Oh, because it's an unknown one. It doesn't know about the programming medium, because that is contained within the Cinera included, so you'd need to have this to allow that to know about that. Okay. Oh, persons, yeah. Do we allow persons? We do allow persons. I think we shouldn't update interval. Probably should be something that the administrator sets. That's none of our business. They should be setting up ignore privacy, I think. Risky cannot ignore privacy. Now, I guess in allowing medium, like I say, that's sort of, you can see that the run in game has come through. I wonder if that should be how it works. Yeah, that's cool. So it doesn't actually, I think that's working as I would expect it actually. Now it's pulling everyone in. Where's run? There's no run, is there? Is that near the top? There's run. I mean, I do think that you need to be able to set that project medium. I do think that would be something you'd want to be able to do. Similarly, just adding generic medias should be something that you'd want to be able to do. I'm thinking in terms of what, how you'd actually want to administrate this, by the way, now. I'm not thinking in terms of technically what you want to do. Where's the query string? Oh, the query string isn't even part of the medium anymore, the project. So that probably would have thrown an error, actually. Oops. What was that to do with? Talk about throwing errors. Query string. Yeah, I wonder if this would actually catch that. No, it doesn't look like it. But even so, if we do this, it doesn't care either. I mean, it doesn't set the question. I think it's just ignoring it, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, the equation doesn't even come into it in the context of a project. Now, if you do not commit this, does the medium come through correctly? I wonder. Should see in game down here. It does. I guess it's also worth bearing in mind that project.default medium, you know, since you've got anything to do with a project, that permits a project to be brought in. If I just try and set that base dir, that should be not permitted, shouldn't it? Yeah, there we go, that was a field not allowed anyway. You wouldn't see it until the very start. Yeah, field not allowed. So that's as expected. So, I don't know, I suppose we've just got it right, I think. You know, we're now prioritising stuff that's set later, but we're also able to merge in stuff that isn't set at all. Yeah, now that this guy takes precedence. So where's whiteboard is still the, oh, we're not generating it. Yeah, spectacular. Blackboards, yeah, it's now all getting sorted correctly as well, as it was before. But we'll at least get to the correct name through. So yeah, I guess we've fixed it. Pretty amazing that the only thing that needed to be done was prioritising the more recently set stuff over the absorbed stuff. So in 2 hours, it was literally like a change of not very much at all. It was literally just switching the logic of this and only pushing the pair if we don't have an assignment, otherwise do nothing. But that's fine. Always good to learn that kind of stuff. Now, there was a thing that I did in Cinera yesterday, which was, it was the update neighbourhood thingamajigs, whatever they call it. Update neighbourhood pointers, yeah. So there's an instance of this that I did yesterday. That I'd just like to I'd just like to leave a note saying that we just kind of did this, we just threw it in there in a kind of ad hoc fashion. Yeah, I might have to go back and look at the previous day. I think it was yesterday that we did it. But there was an instance of doing this update neighbourhood pointers. I just did it so that I could fix a crash, basically. But I wonder if we want to figure out a more systemic way of doing that. Because basically, the way I was trying to do it was call, every time you do the cycle side-by-side file, and then and then call this function immediately afterwards. If it has the neighborhood available, if it doesn't have the neighborhood available, then we go to the calling function, and then see if that has the neighborhood available. And basically, just kind of like keep popping the stack until we get somewhere where the neighborhood is available. It might have been this one. Yeah, it might have been this. Because the insert entry would have it available, so it could do it. Delete entry would have it. We haven't actually tested delete entry, by the way. So we need to do that. Let's do a note over on entry. Test delete entry. And also, cycle signposted file function. Yeah, but I think we've done this now correctly. Is it push there or something else going on? It was a there we go. So let's call it a day there for now. I might do some more today. Don't know. Figure out what to call that. Minimal system fashion. Test delete. I guess we could delete test delete entry maybe. Certainly that program wouldn't run it more than once. In fact, we could just do this, couldn't we? Yeah, okay, that's all. We succeeded though in getting the it's basically merge prioritization. That's what we'll call this one. But yeah, and it's not even to do with the database actually. So it's like config merge prioritization. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Done a couple of hours. Thank you very much, Heroes and Heroines, for being there, for being fantastic and beautiful, and thanks for being written with a Linux mindset. Until next time, farewell for now.